As teachers, we know students use technology everywhere, so why not use this type of learning tool in our classrooms? Using technology provides us educators effective ways to teach and reach different types of learners. For example, the use of iPads can help produce a much greater depth of understanding of a concept. With changes with technology, we are starting to see students be given projects that require them to learn the necessary material themselves instead of us teaching every minute of the day.
So I want to thank everyone for coming. This is the work session on using iPads in the classroom, in a special ed classroom, and the use of lamination for reading and writing. Before we get started, I want to show a few hands who uses iPads in their classroom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of you. Great, that's good. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna show you a couple. Just throw on names. There's gonna be some on Spelling City, a Story Maker, this balloon pop game that sounds pretty fun. Let's just get started then.
See Touch Learn is a picture card learning system that replaces physical flashcards. This is where teachers can create lessons using a starter library or purchase any of the 50 individual libraries that has over 4,000 pictures and over 2,000 exercises for students. Teachers can use this application with nonverbal students. You can make conversation pieces on an app that suits each individual child in your class. In addition, use the auditory training, retelling, and vocabulary development as well. I'm going to take you into a couple of these to show you how this app works. Here, let's pick animals. And then we're going to play lesson. So select dog. And it'll ask the student, they'll have to read, which one is the dog? If they hit the wrong one, they'll make a noise until a green arrow pops up. And they'll just keep going through, and it says which one says wolf, wolf. There you go. You hit next. Now it says, now this one might be tricky. They want you to select all of them, so make sure you get all of the dogs. And it'll keep moving on to different animals as well. And then you can do, it'll show you all of the different lesson parts of this one. The next application I want to show you guys is the Spelling City. I've used this on the desktop, and students were able to work on their spelling through, obviously, these unscramble. They can alphabetize, find missing letters, and the teachers can do their own word lists, so they can upload them and have their students take a pre and then a final test. I'm going to take you, this is a little about the Spelling City. They can learn through play, engaging games with a teacher-made word list. This works great in a special education classroom where I have students learning very simple to read words and ones learning 2 or 3 syllable words. This allows my students to practice individual spelling lists at their own pace. Here's how one of them works. First, let's pick, it says we have to pick a list, so let's do colors. Now it's going to test me. You make sure your speakers are on so you can hear this.
Red. Red is the color of a cherry lollipop. Red.
So students will go R-E-D and hit next.
Orange. Mix red and yellow to make the color orange. Orange.
Let's see. Say I spelled this wrong.
Yellow. Lemons are yellow and limes are green. Yellow. Green. He wore green to celebrate St. Patrick's. Blue. Sky blue is my favorite color in the rainbow. Purple. Grape jelly has a purple color. Purple. Black. A zebra is black and white. Black.
Once the student finishes the test, they will have your answer. So obviously I got 8 out of 10 correct, so I got an 80%. And it will also tell you, if you scroll down, which ones you've got right and what actually is the correct way to spell them. And they can even go in and do a teach me, so the student will be able to learn and practice how to write this word. The next iPad app that I use in my classroom, I did this in student teaching and I use it now. And this is for younger students to help them learn how to spell. It helps them get motivated and it allows them to hear positive feedback in the form of balloon popping. You'll see this in a moment. This Build a Word provides students with 3 modes. They can learn, practice, and test. The educational app has a built-in phonics and spelling list that focuses on word families and long vowels. Advantages, this is what I found advantages for a special ed classroom, is that you can provide a blank background to help students focus on just the letters. They can answer choose. You can either drag and drop or just tap. The letters are bigger for everyone to see. They have simple step-by-step directions and prompts immediate feedback. So here, let's just try a practice round. This is what it'll show like. So students can just go pop, 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 pop all of those.
Throw.
And then they'll try to spell throw. So let's try. The next app on this iPad is my all-time favorite. It's called Little Story Maker. I use this in student teaching, and the kids seem to love this. They came in and wanted to write. And this app can be used at home and at school, and it's free. For younger students, they may need help, but older students, they'll love the stories and are able to easily create their own. Students are given the story a name. They can add photos, text, and then they can even record their sentences that they make. You can print, this is what I did, we took screenshots of the pages and then printed them and had the students color, read them to other students in their class, to teachers, and so on. And here are the steps that I'm going to show you how to make these right now. You'll click on Add a Story, and then you'll come up with a clever title. We'll just go all about me. And then we'll need to add a cover. Say aloud, look at all my pictures. So they'll add a picture here, then they can add their template. So I'll pick this one, we'll hit next. You'll add text, and we'll say, I grew up in a small town. Period. Now, if I want to record it, all I have to do is hit this record button. I grew up in a small town. And if you want to hear it, you can hear it. So here's what the title will look like. If there's a picture, you can read to me. And you'll just keep flipping through all the pages once they have one done. Like I said, kids, these were first and second graders, loved this. I mean, even my fifth graders now would love to make any story they want and would be able to read it in color and take it home. It's great, and their parents can see what they're learning in class. You can do it on a science subject, reading, something you're learning about, something about social studies, a person, an event. There's such a huge variety of things that you could do with this one. So I would recommend checking this out and using this in your classroom. This last app that I want to show you will go well. I know a lot of us are going through the Common Core and that. For my school, we're using Everyday Math, so this would work great for my students. It's called Top It. And this one's for addition, and you can do problems from 1 to 10. And like I said, this will help many students who struggle with basic math facts. This game offers quick, easy way to practice. This helps reinforce their basic facts, and they're able to compare numbers as well, like greater than, less than, such like that. This is a 2-player game. It runs on the iPad, iPhone, iPod Touch, so on. With this app, players can take turns drawing 2 cards. finding their sums, and then comparing them. Players score points for correctly finding the sum, identifying the greater sum, and for having the greater sum. At the end, the player with the most points wins, and this takes about 8 rounds. This game provides students with visual and audio reinforcement of correct and incorrect answers to help players master addition and comparison skills. So, I want to show you how this one works so you guys know how to do this. You'll hit start, and you'll pick a color, say I want to be red for Christmas, and the other player will be green. And you'll hit start game.
Welcome to Top It. Here we go. Player 1, deal 2 cards to each player.
And you'll deal 2 cards by swiping. And
enter the sum of these 2 cards.
So they'll want to know 9 plus 7. Let's say if I do this, is this right? And you'll hit OK.
Nice work.
And I got it right.
Enter the sum of these 2 cards.
Let's say the person got it wrong and thought it was 5.
That's not quite right. Try again.
Let's try 4.
Nice work. Now, show which of the 2 sums is higher. Click the tie button if they are equal.
Let's go with 16.
This player gets points for having the larger sum. Player 2, deal 2 cards to each player.
And this will keep going on. It'll be exactly the same. You'll get 2 cards to each player. You add up your totals, and then you'll see which one is bigger, greater than, or if they're the same.
Next, I want to hear from you guys to see what are some of the top apps that you use in your classroom. So let's get to this.
Yeah, I actually use the app BrainPop to help my students. It helps them grasp new materials. It also helps students in need, gives them some sort of visual to help them. I guess on the site you can actually search through like hundreds of subjects in science, math, social studies, and English, just your normal subjects. I like it because it helps provide extra activities such as games, puzzles, quizzes, and at the end of each of them there's a movie viewed.
I use PBS Kids as a break from working on test and long assignments. Students can pick their favorite PBS shows and watch short video clips.
Well, I like how PBS has the new and some old TV shows. I mean, reminds me of when I was growing up when I was a little kid too.
This would be great for students who struggle, like readers who actually need help comprehending better through watching and listening things more than reading out loud.
I like the Fry Words app because it's user-friendly and student-approved. This is a great practice for students after completing their work or waiting on a teacher. Students can pick the correct list and begin practicing without the teacher.
For the second part of the session, we're going to move on to laminators. Who here has used a laminator before in school, at the ESC, whatever? Great. Okay, so most of you. Right, this one I got off of Amazon. This one's really simple and really cheap, like $40 or so. But it'll have your little slide where you put your stuff in, and then this is the side where in the handle we'll crank and the stuff will come out. This is where everyone will grab out one of their handy dandy quotes that I had from earlier about using technology in the classroom. Well, this is where we're going to come in handy. We're going to use these and everyone will get to take one home with them today. So first, I'm going to show you. You stick the paper in like this. You're going to crank the wheel, and I'll turn this around so you guys can see. And I'll keep going. I'll keep going, and you make sure you want to leave a little extra at the end so you don't cut too close to your product. And then there's a little handy dandy little cutter. And voila, there's your first lamination. And you can laminate stuff like this to hang up in your classroom. I did some fun activities recently with my kids. I have this little graphic organizer that they can use. It looks like a little guy. They read a story, and then they'll answer questions about the main character. So let's say the main character is Santa Claus. So we'll do Santa. And I laminated them so they can wipe these off so they can use these over and over and I don't have to waste paper. So they'll just use Santa and they can say, what does the character look like? Well, we can say he is round. We can ask them, what things does a character do? We can say, delivers toys. And then they'll just keep going around and they can do this on their own and I can come around and check them, or you guys can. This is a great idea to use in your classroom. And then they'll just wipe it off and then they'll be like new. For the next portion of this session, you're going to see me and my facilitator actually show you guys how to do two of these fun laminated activities that I did for reading. The first one is going to be about fluency, and you can find these at the Florida Center for Reading Research. They have tons. They have for fluency, phonemic awareness, phonics, vocab, and reading comprehension as well. So, if you want to use this in your classroom, you're going to cut both of these out and laminate them so your students can use them and just wipe them off, and you can use them for centers, quick little checks. But they'll have this with a partner and a deck of cards that have like a little saying on them. They will place these face down before they play, and they'll have a yes and a no pile. And they'll have a minute. The other partner that's not reading will count for a minute or keep track for a minute, and the student will go through the cards, and then they will put, if they get them correct, in the yes pile, and the no in the no pile, if they don't correctly say the words. And then once they're done, they'll go to the first try, and they'll write how many they got correct. And then obviously they will switch, and they will switch roles, and the next person will read, and so on. And then the second one that you guys will see is the phonics one. This is a pattern one. They come with two. Here's a simpler version of words and pictures. And here's a harder one. This one has more like 2-3 syllable words on it. So I would start out with the easy one. And with your partner, again, you will put these face down. This is like a memory game, but you're trying to match up the two parts of the words together to make one to match the picture. So this one will be fun. This is like fun for review in your classroom, or you can even do centers if you need some free time or to check any of your students. So let's take a look at these. Door, just saying, work too much before they go, turn out well at same point, before the end, in a while, stay a while, they did go, a big house, turn this over, hand it here, help to want to go to, still the same, want to stay in here, set it there, my name is, still in school, the same name, near the door, here and here, it is like. Okay, now I'm going to count how many I get right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, now we're going to switch. Okay, ready? Go.
Just my name. You may need a big place from one line. Like it here. Read this line. Study in school. Keep it up. At that time, it's my turn. Form a line. I like it. It is time. Near the end, this place is. They still need. Set it there. It is still there. Turn it over. Answer the phone.
Stop.
This song is for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand to help show us the way. This song is for those who see their students through the tough times in their lives. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who heard the silent cries, who stepped in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. For those who gave us a safe place to grow, a place for us to call our home. Forever we will know that you have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who taught us right from wrong, who taught us much more than their craft to help our lives grow strong. This song is for those who guide us through and through, so that we can make a life. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. As I look back on my life to the path within my reach, I hope I can change a life.
Well, it's come to this time. It's time for the session to end. I would like you guys to take a few minutes and fill out the evaluation form that I passed out earlier today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the lamination and the iPad part of this session. I look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for coming.